My sister said, "You'll never be the star in this family," after I bought her a car. I grinned. The next day, I filed the repo papers, took back the car, and pulled up to her graduation in it. The look on her face? Better than any applause. She wanted a car. Not begged, demanded. It was casual, like ordering coffee, like it was owed. Her voice carried that typical mix of entitlement and veiled insult she had perfected over the years, speaking like she was doing me a favor by accepting anything from me at all. I'd heard it before. Her tone, her posture, that passive-aggressive arch of her brow, it was the same act she played since we were kids. Except this time, the stakes were metal, horsepower, and registration. I gave her the car, no hesitation. I paid in full, cash, signed the documents myself. And I didn't even gloat, because that wasn't the moment for it. Not yet. She beamed like a pageant winner. The way she clutched the keys, you'd think she'd won the lottery, not been handed something by the same sibling she ignored during holidays and shaded in every family group chat. But I let it slide. Because family, right? Blood's thicker than water, they say. But pride? Pride runs thicker than both. That night, she changed. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. I watched it happen at the dinner table just a few hours after I handed her the car. My mother brought up my business, talking about how far I'd come since the grind started. Mentioned the office I'd just leased downtown. My sister tilted her head, smiled a smile that didn't reach her eyes, and chuckled. That snide, patronizing kind of laugh, like I'd just told a joke without realizing it. "You'll never be the star in this family," she said, holding her fork like a microphone. Everyone laughed. Everyone except me. Because I knew what she meant. I knew that tone. That wasn't a joke. That was a knife disguised as humor. And she twisted it with style like always. See? She's always been the golden one. The perfect one. The one with the eyelashes and the straight-A transcripts and the attention of every aunt, uncle, and friend of the family we ever had. The one who got praise just for existing. I was always the one who had to prove something, to explain every move. My success? Earned through grit. Hers? Gift-wrapped in compliments and softened expectations. But I didn't flinch, didn't argue, just nodded, smiled, let her gloat like she'd just won a war she didn't even fight. What she didn't know, what she never thought to ask, was who the car was actually registered to. It was still mine, my name on the title, my insurance, my purchase. I had the power, not her. She just had the illusion, and I was polite enough to let her borrow it for one more night. That evening, after dinner, I went home, logged in, downloaded the paperwork, filed the repossession request. Legal, clean, untraceable in its intention until the moment it mattered most. And I chose the moment carefully, her graduation. She'd been counting down to that day like it was her coronation. The speeches were rehearsed, the outfit planned to the button, hair appointments, lashes, nails, like she was about to receive an Oscar instead of a diploma. Her Instagram had a full countdown in stories, inspirational quotes, smiles that were too wide, posts about leveling up, about leaving the haters behind, about people who don't clap when you win. She had no idea I'd be the one deciding when the applause stopped. The morning came. I dressed smooth, black on black, the kind of outfit that whispers power without asking for attention, drove out to the repo lot, signed the final release papers. The guy there, a thick-necked man with oil-stained hands, grinned at me, clapped me on the back like we were friends. He handed over the keys like I was reclaiming a throne. And maybe I was. I didn't just drive the car back, I detailed it, shined the chrome, cleaned the smudges from the windows, vacuumed the seats she'd left covered in fast food wrappers and spilled coffee. The disrespect in how she treated it? That was the cherry on top. She didn't value it, just like she never valued me. Graduation venue was local, a stadium packed with proud families, balloon-holding parents, siblings in sun hats, old uncles with camcorders. Everyone trying to find a parking spot. Everyone flustered and sweating under the May heat. Except me. I cruised in. Rolled up slow, front row. Windows down. Music low. Pulled into a reserved space I didn't reserve, but no one questioned it. Why would they? I looked like I belonged there. She was already on the field, lined up with her peers. I could see her from the car. Her smile didn't know yet. She was laughing with her friends, adjusting the cap on her head. She thought the whole day was hers, until her eyes caught the car, her car, or so she believed. I saw it happen. The flicker, the confusion. Her head tilted, just like the night at dinner. Only this time, it wasn't condescending. It was disoriented, like her world had slipped 2 inches to the left. Then recognition set in, and I swear time paused. Her face froze. The expression crumbled. Her lips parted, but no words came. She blinked once, twice. The mask cracked and fell apart before anyone else around her even noticed. That face, that moment, that wasn't just better than applause. It was worth every dollar I'd spent, every fake smile I'd returned, every backhanded comment I swallowed, because that's the thing about stars. They don't beg for the spotlight. They steal it when it counts. I stepped out of the car, didn't say a word. Just stood there, leaning against the door, sunglasses on, arms crossed. Cool, quiet, dominant without effort. Her friends looked from her to me, puzzled. Some whispered. One of them pointed. I didn't acknowledge them, didn't need to. She knew. She knew everything in that instant. Knew what I'd done. Knew I'd taken back the illusion she thought she owned. Knew the stunt she tried to pull on me had just been outplayed at a level she wasn't prepared for. And that was the moment the real show began. She didn't say anything at the ceremony. Didn't approach me, didn't wave, no half-hearted smile, just kept stealing glances from across the field, like the car might vanish if she looked away. Like she was still trying to convince herself it wasn't real. But it was. The same way her laugh had been real the night before. The same way her smug words echoed in my head. You'll never be the star in this family. I waded through the speeches, listened as the school's administrators dragged their way through cliches and worn-out metaphors about the future, grit, and perseverance. I wasn't listening for wisdom. I was watching her, watching how she stiffened every time someone around her pointed toward the car, watching the way her smile slipped each time a friend whispered something, their eyes flicking back to me. Her body was at that ceremony, but her mind was stuck on the parking lot, on the car, on me. When they finally called her name, she walked the stage like she'd trained for it, shoulders straight, chin up. The cameras flashed. Applause came on cue, but the brightness in her eyes was gone. The way she held the diploma looked different now, like she wasn't sure she'd earned anything, like her victory had been edited mid-performance. After the ceremony, people flooded the field. Parents, cousins, distant relatives, everyone trying to squeeze in pictures, flowers, and pride-filled hugs. I stayed near the car, leaning against it, sunglasses still on, calm, completely unbothered, and I knew she could feel it. Every second I stood there was a message written in silence. You never had control. You only borrowed it. Eventually, our mother made her way over. Her face held that polite confusion parents get when they sense something's off but haven't caught up yet. She looked at the car, then at me. I thought you gave this to her, she said, brushing sweat from her forehead. I did, I replied. She looked again. So why are you driving it? Because I took it back. That was all I said. No explanation, no apology, just facts. She didn't push. Mothers always know when the conversation has a blade hidden under the surface. My sister didn't come near me. Not then. Not even when the crowd thinned and people started heading to their cars. She stayed close to her friends, laughing too loudly, trying to salvage whatever pride she could scrape together. But I could tell. Her posture said it all. She was scrambling inside, trying to make sense of what happened. I got in the car, started the engine, let it idle just long enough for her to hear it from where she stood. Our eyes met across the parking lot. No smile from me, just the engine humming and the look that said everything I needed to say. I pulled out slow, drove past her, didn't wave, didn't look back, just left her standing there in that bright blue gown with a cap too tight and a smile stretched too thin. Later that night, she called. I didn't answer, not because I didn't want to hear her. I wanted her to sit with the silence. I wanted her to know what it felt like to be ignored, to not matter when you thought you should. She followed the call with a text. We need to talk. I let it sit. An hour later, another one came. Why would you do that? I didn't reply. At midnight, she finally said what she should have started with. I'm sorry. Still, I said nothing. The next day, she showed up at my place. No warning. Just knocked. Hard. No one knocks like that unless they've been pacing for hours. I opened the door and leaned against the frame, blocking the entrance. Her face was storm cloud tight, jaw clenched, eyes loaded. "You humiliated me," she said. I shrugged. "You humiliated yourself. You gave me that car. I lent it," I corrected. "Still had the paperwork, still had the title, still had every right to take it back." "You knew what today meant to me." "I did," I said, "which made it the perfect day to remind you who gave you that platform to stand on." Her mouth opened like she had a comeback ready, but nothing came out. She looked at me, really looked, and I saw it, finally, that she understood. That I wasn't the one who needed to prove anything anymore. That her entire show, her entire image, was built on things she didn't earn alone. "I'm your sister," she said, like that word was supposed to still mean something after the way she'd twisted it. "And I'm your brother," I said, "the one you tried to belittle the second you got something with my name still on it. You did it to make me look weak." "No," I said calmly. "You already looked weak. I just made sure everyone saw it." She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just stood there, breathing hard, trying to figure out if she could salvage the old power dynamic. But it was gone, shattered, irreparable, because now she couldn't control the story. She couldn't spin it, not in front of everyone, not with photos posted online of me behind the wheel, not with whispers already circulating through extended family about how I took back the car on her big day. The internet wasn't going to let this go, and neither was I. She stepped back, looked down the hall behind me like maybe she could still push her way in, like proximity would fix what pride had broken. But I didn't move. "Is it about the comment?" she asked. "Because I didn't mean it." "You meant it," I said, "and that's fine. But you forgot I was listening." She didn't have a response for that, just silence again. "I thought you wanted me to succeed," she said after a long pause. "I do," I said, "but you thought my success made you look smaller. So you took a shot. I just fired back." She left without another word, walked down the steps, head low, not defeated, but exposed. The mask didn't fit anymore, and when the mask slips in front of an audience, it never slides back on the same way. After she left, I sat down at my desk, checked the messages on my phone. My uncle had texted. My cousin, too. Both with some version of the same sentiment. What happened? I didn't answer them either. Let them fill in their own blanks. Let the silence speak louder than any defense I could give. A week passed. She didn't call, didn't text. But I saw her posts, all carefully curated, smiles with friends. Filters turned up, captioned with quotes about lessons, growth, and letting go of negativity. She was in recovery mode, trying to reshape the story. Pretend the crack hadn't reached the foundation. But I wasn't done. 2 weeks after graduation, she had her celebration dinner. Postponed, but still happening. A rented venue, dress code, guests list packed with extended family, college friends, and a few of her professors. Everyone who hadn't been there at the stadium. Everyone she could still impress. She didn't invite me. I showed up anyway. Not out of spite, not for revenge, just to remind her. You can't write me out of the script I funded. I wore sharp gray, not black this time. Let the suit speak for itself. I walked in unannounced, heads turned, conversations paused. I didn't explain myself, didn't greet her. Went straight to the lounge, ordered neat, watched from the corner as she tried to decide whether to acknowledge me or ignore me. Eventually she came over. "I didn't invite you," she said under her breath. "I know," I replied. "But I helped pay for this story. Figured I deserved a seat." She didn't respond, just stood there, burning holes through me with her eyes. Then she walked back to the center of the room, picked up the mic, and started her speech. She thanked the professors, her friends, her mentors, everyone except me. But the omission screamed louder than a shout. When she finished, applause followed. Software polite, not roaring, not wild, because something was missing, and they all felt it. After the speech, I walked up to her, close enough for only her to hear. "You still think you're the star?" She didn't answer. I smiled, walked away. I wasn't here to steal her night. I was here to remind her who built the stage. The days after her celebration were quiet. No new posts, no phone calls. The digital parade of curated perfection suddenly stalled. Whatever energy she had left to spin the narrative had run dry. And that told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't just shaken. She was processing, finally realizing that the old rules didn't apply anymore. I didn't chase the silence. I let it settle between us like smoke after a fire. I went back to work. Meetings, contracts, client calls. The business didn't slow down, and neither did I. That's the difference between people like her and people like me. She chased recognition. I built systems. She performed. I executed. Still, unfinished things don't sit well with me. I don't leave doors cracked open. I don't let stories end on uncertain tones. So, 1 week after her dinner, I made a decision. I reached out, not to apologize, not to explain, but to give her the one thing she never gave me, closure. I sent her a simple message. Let's talk. No games, just you and me. She read it within seconds, replied just as fast. Where? I picked a neutral place. No homes, no family spaces. A coffee shop downtown, quiet, tucked into a corner where nobody knew either of us. Public enough to keep it civil, private enough to say everything that needed to be said. We met at 10 a.m. sharp. She walked in before me, already seated by the window. No makeup, no filters, just her, looking like someone who'd run out of disguises. I sat across from her. We didn't shake hands, didn't smile. This wasn't a reunion. It was a reckoning. You said no games, she said, crossing her arms. And I meant it, I replied. Let's not pretend we don't know why we're here. She stayed silent. You tried to humiliate me, I continued. You wanted to undercut everything I've built, not in private, not in a joke, but in front of our family. You meant what you said. You meant every word. She didn't deny it. I said something I shouldn't have, she replied. But I was angry. Angry at what? I asked. That I finally succeeded without asking for approval? That I gave you something you didn't earn and you hated me for having the power to give it in the first place? She looked away. I've always had to fight for my place, I said. Every inch, every dollar. You floated through life with applause on your shoulders. I built mine from nothing. So when you mocked that, you didn't just insult me. You insulted everything I've bled to create. Her jaw clenched. But I wasn't done. You were the favorite. That's not bitterness. That's just fact. You didn't choose it, but you never turned it down either. You wore it like a crown. And the first time I had a moment, you couldn't handle it. So you tried to remind everyone that you were still on top. I didn't mean to destroy anything, she said finally. I was just trying to protect something. What were you protecting? I asked. Your image, your control. No, she said, my place in the family. I thought if you outshined me, I'd become invisible. That answer landed differently. Honest, vulnerable, not manipulative. I leaned back. You were never invisible, I said. You were center stage your whole life, but I earned my light. I don't need applause. I don't need validation. I just needed space. She swallowed hard. So why take the car back? She asked. You could have let it go. No, I said flatly. Because you needed to learn something. Not about money. Not about control. About respect. You don't get to laugh in someone's face and still expect their gifts. You wanted to feel big. So I showed you what small really looks like. Silence again. That day, she said slowly, when I saw you pull up at graduation, I felt something I've never felt before. Like I'd been exposed. Like everyone saw through me. They did, I replied. Because I didn't say a word. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't call you out. I just let the facts walk into the room. She nodded. Then this is what it is, she said. You made your point. We go our separate ways now? No, I said. We draw the line. A new one. She looked up. I'm not here to ruin you, I continued. I'm not your enemy, but I won't be your shadow either. Not anymore. She blinked. I'll forgive you, I said. But I won't forget. We rebuild from here. But it won't be like before. You don't get to lead every scene. You don't get to downplay my wins to make yours louder. I don't want that anymore, she said. Then show it, I told her. Not with words. With actions. She nodded again. Slowly this time. Not just agreeing, but understanding. We sat for a few more minutes, didn't talk much, just let the weight settle. The silence between us wasn't angry anymore. It was necessary. It was the start of something new, something more balanced. When we stood, I reached into my pocket, took out a second set of keys. "This is for a different car," I said. "It's in your name, fully. Paid off." She stared at the keys like they were on fire. "You earned it," I said. "Not with grades, not with speeches, but by finally showing up like a real person." She took them, slowly, carefully. "I won't forget what happened," she said. "Good," I replied. "Neither will I." We didn't hug. We didn't promise anything. Just a nod, and then we walked in opposite directions. That was the end. No more games. No more silence. No more illusion. The family finally had 2 stars, burning in different parts of the sky. No shadows, no applause, just truth.